How you doing, guys and gals? Marty is back. Another vinyl update. I'm not drunk this time as it's 9:30 in the morning. It's probably best for everyone if that doesn't happen again. But thanks for watching. A lot of things I've been wanting to do, but been busy. Shop's picking up. Starting to print more shirts. If you guys need t-shirts, let me know. Distro's picking up. If you guys need metal music, let me know. A little bit of everything going on here, but most importantly, what you have come here to see is more records, which I have and will show you. First up, another ratted out radio promo from WNMC, but this is a classic. Sacrifice, Torment in Fire. This surprisingly comes with the lyric sheet, but the record's pretty well hit. It has writing all over it. The cover's jacked. But classic, Turn in Your Grave. Homicidal Breath. Absolutely great album. Canadian classic. Followed up by another Canadian classic, Torment or For Determination. Bought this on cassette when it came out. Love this record. This era of this band is perfect as far as I'm concerned. It's on Diabolic Force. As this band continued on, Sacrifice, they kind of lost it. They got a little more Metallica-like. Soldiers of Misfortune is long and boring. Apocalypse Inside did nothing much for me. I mean, I know people that like that stuff, but I just... First two albums for me is where this band lived and died. Even their the album where they got back together. Boring. It's like these old guys, they forget that youthful piss and vinegar. And you'd think if I was going to get back with a band, original lineup, I would pull out my old records. The two things that I did that were classic and everybody considers classic, and listen to them fuckers over and over again and try to glean off some of that spirit and try to get in that headspace instead of just writing, you know, stupid, boring riffs to put out more product that, you know, younger kids might buy the new stuff. I mean, the new Sacrifice, I just knew it's been, what, 5 years since that's happened? 6 years? 10 years? Hell, I don't know. Time flies. But, you know, that was kind of across the board praised as good. And, man, I listened to that and I was just bored to shit by it. It just did not have the fire of the early stuff. Either way, Torment and Fire, For Determination. You guys need to check these out if you have not heard them. Great thrash. Good, unique Canadian spirit. Speaking of unique, we're going with Sacrifix from Australia. This is a split with Resuscitator. Don't know much about the Resuscitator side. I've listened to it, but maybe once or so. I got this mainly for Sacrifix, which is a two-man project. This guy right here, his name is Anthony. He is also in the band Misery's Omen, which I have worked with in the past. I put out their mini CD and 7-inch onto one CD. Through Binding Recordings, it was our second release way back in 2001. I want to say that came out. But Sacrifix, I'm not going to talk about the other band again. Sacrifix, centering around, the theme is the Australian military and the themes that go around that stuff. A very unique style, very strange sound and style about this band. They adapt some Greek sounds. The way the guitars, the harmonies are presented sound kind of Greek to me. Greek black metal, but they mix it with this weird, completely unique death metal persona that I guess could define an Australian sound that not a lot of bands, even from that era tap into. Moving on, another great album by these guys, The Western Front. Nuclear War Now put this out. Really great band. There's a poster in here. Yep. Pretty cool. Anthony and Neil. I don't know if these guys are putting out anything more or what's even going on with Anthony. I mean, talk about a very talented musician. Misery's Omen is fantastic. Sacrifix is fantastic. I think Anthony has also been in Stargazer on occasion, which I don't know if it's true or not. But great band. I encourage you to check it out. You know, be forewarned, they don't really sound like anyone, and the vocals are very dark. And they're weird, but if you have an open mind, I think you're going to find some stuff that's quite entertaining about that band. Moving on, a little more commercial. Sanctuary Refuge Denied. This is a recent acquisition I got for $4. Having overlooked it back in the day because back then I couldn't bring myself to listen to power metal because I was a death metal, thrash metal, black metal guy. And you know how that stuff is when you're young and you go through those phases. You tend to overlook some classics. Well, I'm way past that point now. I revere power metal alongside death metal and black metal these days. It's just as good. It puts me in a good mood, which is a nice change of pace. This was produced by Dave Mustaine, who we all know and love. Great power metal. Warrell Dane's vocals are superior on this album, and though he moved on, I do not have the second Sanctuary album. Although I am looking for an original early pressing of it. If anybody has it, would like to get rid of it or trade or something. With Nevermore, Warrell kind of dropped the super high soaring vocals and went more of a melodious, gruff style. And that's fine. I mean, I enjoy some Nevermore albums as well. And for some reason, this is bent, which is not good. But anyway, next up. Yeah, why is that bent? Satanic Warmaster, Strength and Honor. This is, as far as I know, an original pressing. I got it about the time it came out. Northern Heritage. There's nothing in here, just black vinyl. This is a band that I like, and I've always enjoyed the Finnish scene, the black metal scene, for the filth and the grime. There's a punky feel in with that whole style, and these guys did it well. I always thought they did it well, and I've always enjoyed, you know, their output, which put me into this collecting all their vinyl that I could find, even though I don't have it all. I tried to keep up with it when the shit was coming out, but, you know, as time goes on and so many bands bubble to the surface, it's hard to keep up with everything unless you're a goddamn millionaire and have the time to research all of it online. Which I am far from neither. Great band, good album. Coming up, another original pressing. This is Black Catharsis. 3-song EP, 12-inch EP on Northern Heritage. This does come with an insert. A couple of them, actually. These are just Xeroxed paper inserts. And as we all know, Satanic Werewolf is a sketchball in the Finnish scene. If that bothers you, avoid Satanic Warmaster. Although Satanic Warmaster has never been political that I've read or seen in the lyrics. They just tend to be devil worshipping typically. But Werewolf is, you know, been in Goat Moon and all sorts of other bands, and does not hide his opinions on stuff. Which, if you're going to be touting that belief system, I mean, I would rather these artists come straight out and say, "Yeah, I'm a racist sketchball," instead of hiding it or denying it, working around it. But if you're gonna be a shitbag, you might as well fess up to it, which he has. And say what you want. That's at least you know where the guy stands, right? Next up is Offerblut, another original pressing, as far as I know. Like I said, I was keeping up with these things as they were coming out. This is on No Colors Records, which means super thin jacket, as we all know. There's no insert, just black vinyl. This is an album that's okay, but not a favorite. It's been... I shouldn't really say that because I haven't listened to it in 1,000 fucking years, so my opinion could change on that. This one I've shown in the past. This is the of the Night 12-inch with the werewolf dragging his little giblets up into the tree with a really stupid poster on the inside, which, again, I've shown it before, so I'm not going to focus on it. This is a decent... this originally came out as a 10-inch, which I wanted, missed out on it, and trying to get it nowadays is an expensive deal. So I went with the repress that came out on No Colors, which is fine, other than the really stupid fucking cover and poster. It's alright. Satanic Warmaster, Corellian Satanist Madness. Again, original pressing on No Colors Records. Comes with a poster, which is right there. Excellent stuff. Actually, a really good album. I do enjoy this. Comes with an insert. Ha ha! Satanic Warmaster is Satanic Tyrant Werewolf. It's not this other guy. It's in the picture. It's Satanic Werewolf. But, yes. Good album. Actually, as far as I'm concerned, a pretty iconic cover art. I really like that picture. Always have. As far as black metal band photos and photography goes, it's a good cover. Next up is Satanic Warmaster Black Metal Commando Picture Disc. I do not think this is an original pressing. It might be. I have 941 out of 1,000. It's numbered. And typically I'm not a picture disc guy, but if you're going to do a picture disc, put a cover around it. Which they did, and I can live with this. This is a pretty cool picture disc, to be honest with you. Except for this really stupid cover picture on the back. Not so evil without your mascara. Ah! But, decent album. Glad to have it. Like I said, I'm also missing the Revelation 12-inch EP. If anybody has an extra copy they would like to get rid of and not want to rate me on a price, that would be glorious. Next up is Noxier. Is that how you say that? Noxier? A Symphony of Our Heart's Winter. This is a good album. It's not a great album. Satanic Werewolf, I mean, really super cheesy lyrics. It's hard to take any of this crap really seriously as far as lyrically. I mean, the sound is what it is, and I enjoy that sound, or I wouldn't obviously buy this stuff. But the lyrics are pretty dumb. And if you go into that knowing that, it's okay. Bonus for the Hades long sleeve t-shirt. Very cool. But gatefold, I believe this is a color vinyl. I don't remember. Nope. Black. This is on Northern Heritage. which is a fantastic label run by Nico Espa from Clandestine Blaze. Next up, this is the Hell's Headbangers color variant of Fimbulvinter, which is a great record. This is kind of like, for me, a return to form for Satanic Warmaster. A lot more keyboards on this album, which makes it really atmospheric and a pretty emotional record, which I think was kind of lacking in this one. It just didn't have a lot of emotion. It was just kind of a black punk record, as far as, you know, black metal punk record. Super glossy album. I may have shown this in the past, but comes with an insert, a horrendously pixelated, shitty band photo, lyrics, and it's a gray splatter vinyl, which I think was offered only through Hell's Headbangers. Glad to have it. Great album. We're almost at the end of the Satanic War. No, I have one more Satanic Warmaster thing towards the end, but show that later. Next up, Satanic Warmaster Archgoat Split. This is on black vinyl, I believe, is the variant I got. I waited a little too long. This is my first really paying attention to Archgoat, which I think there's a couple new songs and then a remaking of a bunch of other stuff. But I really enjoyed the vibe of it, and it put me on a course to buy a shit ton of Archgoat. As I've stated in another video, some of it's great, some of it is pretty boring. But this is really good. Ouch, a good split. Both sides are good. I think it did quite well for the labels that put it out, which was Hell's Headbangers, I believe. Yep. Excellent band. You know, it's an excellent band that isn't without some bumps in their discography, but that's a good one. Next up, Satyricon Rebel Extravaganza. This comes with a free 12-inch, including the song Scorn Torment, which is basically one song on one side and the other side is blank, which is weird. But yeah, this is the last Satyricon album that I liked, even though I will say I have listened to it recently, and it has not held up very well. Lyrics on the back, and then the other one is just one song. There's 2 records stuffed in a jacket, which is fine. A lot of people just like that, but it doesn't bother me. I think it makes the record jackets a little more susceptible to ring wear, but shit, I've had this a long time, and no ring wear. So I guess it's all how you take care of your stuff, right? Again, this is Satyricon becoming faster and modifying. You know, they're kind of emerging from Nemesis Divina was, as far as I'm concerned, a perfect record. Black metal with some modern flourishes. This takes the modern flourish and kind of runs with it. There's some great songs on this album. Filth Grinder. Tide and Bronze Change is great. Supersonic Journey is good. I mean, but it's, you know, they're starting to get a little more, even more modern, which I don't know if that's a good way to describe this, but it's the best. It's taking the black metal aesthetic, adding more technicality, cleaner production, a just very crisp, modern sounding record. Again, there's some really great stuff on here. Does not hold up like the first 3 albums to me. And after this, there's a few albums here and there I enjoy by this band, a few songs here and there that I enjoy, but for the most part, they have tanked. Sabotage, Hall of the Mountain King. Picked this up cheap at a record show for $4, and it's in good shape. You know, a lot of friends are into Sabotage, and I get it, but I'm not there yet with Sabotage. It's a little too much of a glam side to this. It kind of bugs the crap out of me. Good songs, good vocals, good musicianship. It's just a little too commercial for me. And next up is the band Sea of Bones, The Earth Wants Us Dead. This is kind of a cool 3 LP set, trifold record. Oops. This is brown vinyl, which, you know, I should probably show you one. I think it's all brown. Yep, all 3 records are brown. And honestly, this record, because I don't know if it's because of it being brown, it sounds bad. It's not a good sounding record. I saw these guys at the first ever Gilead Fest. I think they're a 3-piece doom band. I don't know where they're from. Live, they were absolutely crushing and inspiring. I was very impressed with them. Ran over to their table after the show and bought this for 3LP trifold. I spent a lot of money for this thing. And it's okay, but the production isn't the best, and the sound of the vinyl isn't the best. 2 albums are The Earth Once Is Dead, and the 3rd record is basically an improv in the studio drone, which I'm surprised I didn't mind it that much, but for the most part, I think that's kind of a waste. You know, in the studio improv drone. I mean, I'm all for artist creativity, but if I was Adam putting this out, I'd have been like, you want me to pay to put out a 12-inch record of you guys fucking around in the studio with drone? Good album. They're better live. Can't recommend this all that well. Next up. This is, oh Jesus. Marnost and Seeds in Barren Fields split 12-inch. Good stuff. I still have this in stock if anybody would like to buy it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 record labels came together to put this out on vinyl. I wonder what the pressing is and how many each label got, and if it was enough to warrant jumping into it. But printed insert with lyrics, pictures. Panda Banda is the name of a record label? Really? You know, it's been a long time since I've listened to this. I remember it being crusty, inspired black metal. It's not something I'm grabbing all the time, but it's good. Next up is kind of a cool album that features Andrew Harris, who is Akhenaten from Judas Iscariot. This is Seeds of Hate with Persecution of Christian Filth on Somber Records from Germany, which is a long defunct record label. This is good black metal. If it's got Andrew in it, you know it's going to be good. And he just, I thought he just played bass on this, but it's not true. He plays guitar. He is known as Dawn of Armageddon in this band, and he is right there. This damn thing. Good album. Good black metal. I haven't spun this in a long time. But I was happy to find it. I don't even remember where the hell I got this. I want to say I got this at Metal Haven when before Metal Haven moved to a newer location, and then they've reopened recently in Chicago. Next up, this is kind of a favorite record of mine out of this band's discography, Sentenced Amok. I may have shown this before. This is one of those albums I like to listen to in the fall, and yes, it is the epitome of commercial goth metal. I mean, these guys went from a straight-up death metal band to a thrashy band with some blackish vocals to this, and it's basically gothic metal. Great harmonies, great guitar work, really moving vocals. Jarva, who was in Impaled Nazarene, he was also in this. His vocals on this album remind me a lot of Carl McCoy from Fields of the Nephilim, but with more of a metal punch behind him. This is an album I want to listen to in the fall. It just has that atmosphere and vibe to it. Not that it's, you know, super dark or black metal or anything. It's just a very good commercial metal record. And I do like that on occasion. I'm not going to lie. I don't always listen to underground stuff. I, you know, started recently getting into Tiamat after missing out on them, the newer stuff. It's good to hear a well-polished metal record on occasion. I don't know if that is a opinion that is widely held, but I like underground, but I also enjoy a good, well-produced, well-promoted album. Next up, this is another album I would be willing to part with if somebody out there wants it, wants to trade something. Not looking to sell shit. I want to trade. So if you want to get together on something, let me know. This is Psy. This is a band. This is a tribute to Venom. This is 1, 2. They cover Black Metal, Die Hard, Countess Bathory, Schizo, Mayhem with Mercy, Teacher's Pet, and Witching Hour. Teacher's Pet's kind of an interesting song to cover, although I like that song. But I think one side of this is, yep, it's etched. I don't know if you can see it. It's a pentagram etching. Kind of cool. Psy is one of those bands that I've got their early stuff, original pressings of the early stuff. And it's okay. It was just always weird and just was not an atmosphere or style that I really glommed onto. But, you know, got to applaud them for their originality. I don't know how I may have gotten this in a trade. I don't know. But anyway, it's in good shape. It's been listened to once. If you're looking for Psy doing a bunch of Venom covers, let me know. Let's trade. Next up, there are bands in death metal that people always go to, you know, like the Morbid Angels of the world, the Obituaries, the Cannibal Corpse. All that stuff is great, but I have always found much more love in the sound and feel of the European style. And as far as top 5 death metal records, you know, Sinister's Cross the Styx is right up there in the top 5 for me. This album is fucking awesome. They put out a lot of good stuff in their catalog over the years, but this one is completely special. It's produced by Alex Krull from Atrocity, who is also in that fucking band Leaves Eyes. Oh man, this album is brutal. It's technical brutality, but this band never loses sight of interesting hooks. Mike's vocals are completely guttural, but awesome, but not cupped Mike style. They're just a very authentic, deep, primal, guttural style. The album, I can't get over how fucking great this album is. It really is good. Lyrics, this is a printed insert, printed jacket. You know, a lot of people say they like the one after this better. Little poor humans, you're lost. Nuclear blast insert on the inside was kind of cool. Oh wow. Diabolical Summoning, which, you know, took this and made a little more of a Cannibal Corpse fusion stylistically, I think, but Cross the Styx is heavy, technical, catchy, memorable, just endlessly fucking awesome. I've listened to this thing probably a million times since it's come out, and never gets boring, never gets old. If you are looking for awesome death metal, and it's old school death metal, but it's good old school death metal, definitely check out Cross the Styx by Sinister. You will not be disappointed. Yeah, I mean, they put out some other... Hate's good. Aggressive Measures is good. After that, Odd took over. He went from drummer to singer. And to be honest with you, I don't like his vocals all that much. Next up, Eternal Classic. What are you going to say? Got this for $4. Show No Mercy by Slayer. You know, there isn't really much to talk about other than this album and this album. These are my 2 favorite Slayer albums. Everybody talks about Hell Awaits. Yeah, Hell Awaits is awesome, but there has been no other Slayer album like Show No Mercy. You know, they took a new wave of British heavy metal style and made it dark, evil, thrashy. This is a standout record in Slayer's discography. Excuse me, I think. Classic, Die by the Sword, The Antichrist, Fight Till Death, Evil Has No Boundaries. Final Command, every song on this fucking album is perfect. Every song on this album is a classic. And it's the same thing with this. I bought this new. This is my brand new copy that I bought. Although it was damaged, but it was the only one they had, so I had to get it. I took it out of the seal, and side one had a million skips on it. I don't know if it was a poor pressing. And I've actually heard of other people that had the same problem. Very frustrating, but I also had the CD, so it didn't matter. But another perfect, album. Under 30 minutes. I ended up finding another copy down the road for $4 that is perfect. But perfect other than someone put a piece of fucking tape on it. This, Show No Mercy, and Rain and Blood are my two favorite Slayer albums. I know that's probably going to be open for debate, which we can debate. Go ahead. Talk. It doesn't matter because it's my opinion, but anyway, moving on. Anthrax side project, SOD, Stormtroopers of Death, Speak English or Die. It's got Billy Milano on vocals, Dan Lilker on bass, Charlie and Scott from Anthrax. Good, heavy, hardcore, thrash, crossover, silly lyrics. For the time when this came out, I loved it. I listened to it a lot. And now I can put it on for a good nostalgic romp, but not something I'm grabbing every day. Good stuff, though. Moving on. I'm getting along here. Sorry. Sodom, Obsessed by Cruelty. Another radio promo. 7/10/86. Great metal. Thanks for writing on a classic cover. And stars on the back. Whoever reviewed this for the radio station knew what was up. We'll just say that. It's Metal Blade Records. Pressing. Rough shape. But it's classic. Moving on. Sluggathor. Echoes from Beneath. Sluggathor are a Finnish death doom band. Very good. Very detuned. Low, growling, brutal vocals. Heavier than shit. Sludge. Heavy death metal. Head banging. Good album. Good band. And there's no other insert. Just the poster. I would recommend it if you're into the thick, sludgy death stuff. Without it sounding stonery. It's just heavy, fucking detuned, abysmal death metal. Good stuff. I've shown this in the past. Sortvarg. Viking Tid Og Anti-Arki. Antichrist. Not Antichrist. Anarchist. Black metal. From Norway. This is actually a really good album. Picked it up cheap from Hell's Headbangers on some sale they had going on. 2 LP set. And I listened to it quite a bit. I haven't spun it in a while, but good black metal. Usually black metal bands from Norway, if they can appreciate the aesthetic set forth by other bands, it's usually at least going to be interesting. Next up is a split between Stargazer and, I cannot remember, I think Invocation. Yep, Invocation. This is a Bird of Ill Omen. I think I still have copies of this left in the distro. Stargazer are Australian technical thrash / death metal band. Members, 1 or 2 members of Misery's Omen. At least there used to be. I don't know if that's true anymore. Invocation, I can't remember. I got this basically for Stargazer. The other band was good, but not as good as Stargazer. Interesting split. Definitely check it out. Next up, a fantastic band. I'm assuming these guys are German. Sulfur Aeon, Swallowed by the Ocean's Tide. I also have the second one in the other room too. I just have a whole bunch of... I got about 6 months worth of records I need to show you that has come in new, but I wanted to get through all this stuff first. Absolutely great technical death metal with the old school vibe centered around Lovecraftian mythos. Hold it right side up. Printed inner. This is like the third... I didn't get this album until like a third repress, which is what this is, I think. Check out that cover, man. Fucking awesome cover. This is on Imperium Productions. I think it was originally released on CD through... I can't remember the initials. RD something Records from Germany. Good death metal label. I've got 2 more records, and sorry, I've gone on for fucking ever. One of my favorite bands, straight up. I only have 1 record by them because, honestly, I know Wyatt, XM, and these other, they're trying to get all this shit on vinyl. And I have friends that have all this stuff on vinyl. Summoning, Old Morning's Dawn. This is one of those bands that I would much rather have their albums on CD. Why? Because the digital sound field, I think, is just more suiting to this band, and it's good to put on a Summoning release and not have to flip over a fucking record 4 times, 3 times, 2 times, whatever. I mean, this is a 2 LP set. I want to get lost in the atmosphere, the realm building qualities that this music gives me. I don't want to have to break out of that every 2 songs and flip a record. I mean, I have this. I'm glad I have the vinyl. In fact, I don't own this one on CD. I only have the vinyl. But Summoning needs to be on CD and uninterrupted. That's just an opinion, but this is a cool pressing on Napalm Records. Love this band. And really, the only album by theirs that I could really care less about is Lugburs, which is the original, the debut album. Very much standard black metal. Nothing exceptional. And last up for this insanely long update. 36 minutes. God, I'm sorry. Swordmaster, Wraths of Time. This is a Full Moon Productions pressing. This is a very good... I think these guys are Norwegian or Swedish or something. It's black metal, but with, the Swedish... It's got the Swedish black metal persona. They're Swedish, I think. Yes, they are, because there's a Nodvite in here. Emil Nodvite is in this band. Playing bass. John Nodvite's brother. Swedish black metal, but with some melodic death influences. This was kind of a big sound for the early to mid-90s Swedish black metal scene. This is my favorite Swordmaster. This is a really good EP. This has got 4 songs and an outro. Check this out as they went on. I lost interest. That's about it. Not much I can say about that. I probably got about 3 more vinyl updates to do, and we will have gotten through all my metal vinyl. I'm going to probably do some 7 inches and my non-metal vinyl. I'm not doing any rock stuff, but I will show industrial, gothic, and punk. And of course, a bunch of new shit I've gotten. Like I said, I've got about 6 months worth of stuff that I have not shown as I tried to pound through this collection. But that's it. Sorry to keep you guys bored out of your mind for 40 minutes. I'll try not to do that again. See ya.